Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is Steve Crypto C with another day in the life, the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. What is going on with the market? Well, same thing was going on yesterday and the day before that. The market is doing what the market does. Holy moly. John Deaton's in the news. John Deaton's in the news. We'll go over that a little bit as well. Some attorneys kind of weighed in on that. Gary Gensler is, of course, doing what he normally does, which is he is not your friend. He is, without question, has his own personal political agenda. We'll get into a little bit of that as well. Crypto Eddie shared Patrick Duty's expert testimony for the SEC, which it looks like that John Deaton is going to file a briefing for requesting to use the amici status on behalf of the XRP holders, 67,300 plus now. So we'll get into that. Also, some very, very interesting stuff nonetheless. I really did think that Kevin O'Leary's, the video, if you haven't watched that video that I shared with Kevin O'Leary, you definitely want to watch that video from yesterday. Very, very interesting stuff, and ultimately explains why Gary Gensler is in the position that he is in. Very, very interesting. All right, guys, we'll get into that as well. So this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's do this. Bitcoin dominance is at 42.5%. Yeah, that is not a great number for the altcoins. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at 1.34 trillion. And it's up 2.3%. Bitcoin is at $29,955 again. Ethereum is at $2,016 again. And XRP is at 41.8 cents. Again. Yeah, so the market is just a nasty sideways movement for sure. A little bit here to give us a little bit and then take away a little bit more. Give us a little bit more and then take away a little bit. The market is, guys, doing what the market does. Nothing really here to report other than, that Bitcoin dominance is at 42,000. We're still at 1.3 trillion, which is about 1.7 trillion off where we were at one time, right? So yeah, some great discounts, some stuff getting a little bit of some pickup back from what they lost, but ultimately, guys, the market is doing what it does. What's in the top? Who's in the top 100? The MEX token, the Meyer DEX exchange token, is up 3.5% on the 7-day. Just discovered that they got a listing on Bitmart, so that is really, really cool to see, being that we are MEX holders and we provide liquidity on that platform there on the Meyer exchange. So excited to see that. Osmos up 16% on the 7-day. That's interesting, up to $1.79. So guys, listen, the market again is doing what the market does. So Alan Turing put this out. Breaking attorney John E. Deaton has filed a motion letter asking the judge in the SEC versus Ripple case to let him write a brief on behalf of the 67,300 XRP holders who have been hurt by the lawsuit. The move comes from recent testimony. The move comes following recent testimony from an expert SEC witness who gave a report on what information reasonable XRP holders were relying on when they bought the token. John Deaton says he bets this witness gave testimony without interviewing a single XRP holder, and more to come. Now, we said in the beginning about John Deaton, in the very beginning, the day he filed it, this amici status thing, the day he got involved, we said that this guy was going to be a thorn in the side of the SEC. And that, my friends, is coming to fruition without question. Without question, is coming to fruition. The fact that he was granted the amici status was a game changer for sure. Now, some interesting stuff in the brief, so a lot of people discussing whether or not, the judge is going to allow it. I think it's a very good shot. What are the chances, says XRP Crypto Wolf, the judge will allow John Deaton to write a brief on behalf of XRP holders? They should, considering they are allowing the SEC to do whatever they want. Yeah. So we'll see if they will, in fact, allow it. Here is the brief right here from John Deaton's law firm, reference amici curiae and SEC versus Ripple Labs, Inc. Your Honor, dear Judge Torres, Your Honor previously granted amici status to 6 individual XRP holders. Amici respectfully request leave to file an amicus brief regarding the opinions of the plaintiff's expert Patrick B. Doody. Dauber concerns related to Mr. Doody's opinions represent the precise nature of the difficult issues envisioned by the court when it granted amici status and held. Amici will provide the court with a meaningful perspective and will help ensure a complete and plenary presentation of difficult issues so that the court may reach a proper decision. ECF number 372 at 10. Counsel for amici recently became aware of Mr. Doody's report regarding the conduct of individual XRP holders, such as amici. Candidly, there may not exist a more singular and relevant issue necessitating amici's meaningful participation than the legal issues surrounding the opinions and testimony of Mr. Doody. Pursuant to the court, amici shall be allowed to assist the court by briefing legal issues relevant to the case as approved in advance by the court. Your Honor issued an order establishing a deadline for Dauber challenges on July 12th of 2022, with replies due August 30th, 2022. Interesting stuff. This is a reference to ECF number 372. And so on April 27th, 2022, undersigned counsel sent a letter to all counsel of record in a good faith attempt to acquire information regarding the legal issues appropriate for amici's participation. Because amici are not privy to non-public disclosures, the purpose behind Exhibit 1 was to outline legal issues potentially relevant and germane for amici's participation. Exhibit 1 is admittedly broad, but was primarily designed to cause the parties to help narrow the focus of amici's participation and avoid disturbing the court. Amici became aware of Mr. Doody's opinions after receiving a reply letter from defense counsel. Prior to receiving the defendant's reply, the SEC responded that without court approval, the SEC would not share any discovery material not yet filed on the public docket. Defense counsel's reply, however, indicated that the defendants were willing to share Mr. Doody's report, noting the SEC did not designate Mr. Doody's report as confidential, and thus there is no restriction on the parties sharing it with amici, and no court approval is required. After receiving defense counsel's letter, counsel for amici replied, copying the SEC, affirming that Mr. Doody's report would be utilized solely for litigation purposes. Considering the SEC has not designated Mr. Doody's report as confidential, and based on defense counsel's determination that court approval was not acquired, amici was optimistic court intervention would be unnecessary. Counsel for amici could review Mr. Doody's report in a timely manner and submit a request for leave to file a non-duplicative Dauber amicus brief at a later date. Okay, I'm not going to read all of this, but this is really, really good. On May 10th of 2022, undersigned counsel sent a letter to all counsel inquiring whether amici would receive Mr. Doody's report. On May 11th, counsel, okay, he's just kind of going over this for the SEC, sent an email to defense counsel, copying amici, indicating that the SEC was, in fact, designating all extra reports submitted on behalf of the SEC as confidential, except for the opening, supplemental, and rebuttal extra reports of Dr. Mesh, which were filed on the court public day. See, it exists. The SEC also sent a letter to counsel indicating, okay, great. Kind of going over the history here. Thus, the amici's request to participate in DARPA motion practice and reserves its rights to seek an extension of time for DARPA briefing should amici's proposed participation require additional time to respond. Thus, amici respectfully requests leave to submit a brief related to the opinions of Patrick Doody. Additionally, amici respectfully requests the court grant access to Mr. Doody's report and deposition testimony solely related to his opinions regarding XRP holders and users who acquired XRP in a secondary market. Amica intends to limit participations to matters solely related to XRP holders who have acquired XRP in a second market. Amica will offer no position regarding Mr. Doody's opinion, if any, related to Ripple investors, customers, partners, or any purchases of XRP who acquired XRP directly from Ripple or as executives. But when considering opinions related to users or purchasers of XRP in the secondary market, independent of the defendants, it is quite difficult to imagine a more relevant and pertinent issue justifying amici's participation. Nicely done, Mr. D. Nicely done. That pit bull is on it. And I freaking love it. Good job, bro. Good job. So that, again, a thorn in the side of the SEC to me is an understatement. It's an understatement. It's an understatement. So Crypto for Eddie put this out. Now, you guys remember the video that I shared, some other people shared with Layla Hepburn yesterday. And I kept saying, you know, I felt like this was older. I felt like we've seen this before, you know, blah, 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 blah. So Crypto Eddie in her video this morning said that video, not this one, but that video was 2 years old. Okay, that was 2 years old. And this video apparently was 5 months ago. And she's saying here that he mentions Ripple and ODL in the past tense. That's I guess you could say it's past tense. We've used ODL for that purpose. We have used ODL for that purpose. I guess you could say that's past tense. But my thing is, if the thing with Layla was 2 years ago and this thing was 5 months ago, it's like saying, you know, I used my bank. I went into the bank to get some money out 5 months ago, so that means I'm not still using that bank. Like that doesn't add up to me. But in any case, there apparently hasn't been any real you know, documentation about Exim Bank and how they're using ODL, or if they're even using ODL. But I do find it interesting that he keeps coming up in stuff. So XRP Australia put this out, and they say XRP has no use case. Gary Gensler, get over yourself, mate. This is happening with or without you, XRP community. Now it says here, Crypto Eddie put this out. When you research what Eurobank is up to these days, its focus is to offer investment grade back instruments in the easy to trade blockchain-based token, STOs, security token offerings. 5 months ago, Ripple ODL was mentioned in the past tense. So I agree with Rapid Kahneman on grain of salt needed. So in other words, they're saying they haven't seen any kind of documentation that they've been able to find that can verify the ODL usage. And so I find it interesting that a guy keeps getting in front of the camera who is previously at Swift and currently, I believe, with the Exim Bank, making statements about ODL, making statements about XRP publicly. So take a listen to what he says here. Head compliance and ops at Exim Bank. So maybe they have a better way of keeping it out from the public. But he's out here publicly saying something, and I'm not sure if he has a personal agenda. It doesn't seem to me to make sense. Like, is he on a hopium I see on a hoping parade. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Take a listen to this.
Currency and invoke the very, very high levels of foreign exchange fee. I think this is my opinion, not our bank's opinion, but this would be certainly a wonderful to have if you can just have one particular currency to cover the full extent of international trade. I can't see how this will happen, especially as, again, dollars is the predominant currency that we have at the moment for trade. We have mechanisms to switch in and out of different local currencies without needing to go into a fiat currency at all. We've used the Ripple network to do that by using on-demand liquidity. So there are mechanisms where you don't have to physically go into that currency and invoke the very, very high levels of foreign exchange fees that go with that and lack of liquidity in certain.
So yeah, so there that is. There, you guys can take that for what it is worth. This particular comment is a comment of his own and not of the bank. And in any case, that is some very, very interesting, some interesting stuff. By the way, guys, I say thoughts, condolences, and prayers go out to the Bearable Bull. He did a video the other day that how he lost some XRP, and he had on a ledger. And dude, condolences, bro. Continue to keep your head up. I know that is a tough one for sure. Anytime you lose crypto, whether it be from hacks or from liquidation, it is a tough thing. And our thoughts and prayers and condolences, we're thinking about you, bro. Keep your head up. We appreciate you in this community big time, and know that you will rebound and be even better in the future. Tony Edward put this out from Thinking Crypto. Wow, I did not expect a statement like this from Ken. Was hell frozen over? So apparently, Citadel's Ken Griffin brutally chastises the SEC chair Gary Gensler. I don't know where this is. I don't know what the article is. Frank Chaparro put this out. I would love to see Gary Gensler, quote unquote, pivoting from talking about regulating cryptocurrency to actually providing regulatory clarity. Well, get in line, Ken Griffin, get in freaking line. Let me end with this one right here. This was from Wilbur put this out, 54 at XRP, a director for Financial Enterprise Affairs Competition Committee. In 2015, this committee discussed the Ripple protocol, transactions, and the use of the currency XRP. So it's Great Find Nerd National Unboxed. Adrian Blundell Wignall said this about Ripple and XRP. However, Ripple protocol transactions work very differently and in a way more amenable to node anonymity and clarity. When a set of new transactions arrives on a ledger that is a proposal, the nodes go through a voting process and start discarding invalid transactions. When they reach an 80% consensus, which would mean effectively 100% certainty, they consider the transaction as closed and correct. And this takes seconds to happen. Ripple has a currency called XRP. Ripple has a currency called XRP. XRP is not like Bitcoin, which has a value and can be exchanged for dollars and used for speculation. XRP is an internal currency used within the system to prevent abuse. Underlined the fact that very big organizations are adapting the Ripple protocol and gave some examples. The world's largest open bank technology, Earthport, has joined Ripple. Online banks are beginning to use the Ripple protocol as well. A German bank called Fedor is already using Ripple. Westpac and North Bank in Australia also have decided to join the Ripple network. Some interesting stuff there from that particular article. The fact that they're using currency is a big deal. XRP as a currency is a big deal for sure. Next video, we'll go over what Mr. Duty actually had to say in terms of what XRP holders' intentions or motivation are. We'll cover that in the next video. All right, guys, listen, this has been your XRP Ripple Daily News. I hope it has been of value to you. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't had a chance to do so in the past. If you'd like to support the channel, you can see on my videos, there is a thanks link underneath the video, right next to the save button. If you want to support the channel, that would be awesome. All right, guys, look, it's like a super chat for uploaded videos. I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.